So yeah, we did decide to trade some equipment. So we're here at John Deere to look at the new thing. Wait. So this is Sunday afternoon. We met with the Deere man Friday afternoon, early evening, and a couple of big changes happened on the farm Friday night. Well, I'm not in our shop and I'm not at our farm, and this is not our 2017 S680. That's a little bit different. The ladder's a little bit different. And there's a couple other things that are a little bit different. Say hello to our new to us 2020 John Deere S780. Yes, on tracks. First thing on the farm we've ever had with tracks on it. So we're going to see if we like that. Let's take a quick look at the combine as it's just sitting here at the dealer. So if you watched the last video, you know we were talking about trading almost everything on the farm. Implements, a couple of tractors, combine, kind of almost everything was on the table. Well, we did end up with this guy. 2020 S780 on tracks. It is used. It's got one season on it. And actually, while we were talking to the Deere guy, he called the owner, the farmer that had it, with a question, and he was actually driving it in here when he was on the phone. So came in here Friday night while we were talking about trading, and here it sits Sunday afternoon. They got a few things to do to it, and it'll be ready to go. Ours is ready to come in here. We don't need it on our 2020 business for tax reasons, so he can drag his feet a little bit on the paperwork. We'll get this on 2021 business. And actually, the next morning when we were hauling waxy corn, the guy that owned this machine was behind Dad in line waiting to get the truck unloaded. So Dad got out and talked to him, told him we were the ones that bought it. And he said, this was good to hear from the guy that ran it. He said all he would do was, there's a little gas strut on the ladder. One of those is broken, and he would put a brand new unload auger drive chain on it. So, and send it right back to the field. So that's good to hear from the guy that ran it. So the few things that are obviously different. So we're going from the 680 to the 780. The 7, you know, it doesn't mean a heck of a lot. They're newer than ours. Ours is 17. I want to say the 700 started in 18. So obviously the big thing is the tracks. We've got the 36-inch track system on it. So it's going to be interesting to see how that operates. Kind of anxious to drive it home and see what it's like. I mean, they could trailer it out to us, but we're not that far away. I kind of like to drive it just to know. So yeah, you got the big track system there. One thing that's going to be nice about that is you got all kinds of clearance we didn't have with duals before. I mean, this is a little tight, but I can walk in here and actually do stuff where it's hard to squeeze in there with the dual tires on. And we got I think we got a bigger wheel, a little less sidewall. These are LSWs, 710/60/30s on the back. I'm trying to remember what's on our combine. I don't right now, but so we had chopper on the other one. So this has chopper and the PowerCast tailboard, which you know, has some things you can adjust in the cab to help spread your residue out a little better, possibly. When we had the rental combine last year and had the fire, it had PowerCast tailboard, so I'm a little bit familiar with that. One thing I noticed just looking around, let me get this body panel open. This is just a quality of life improvement. So right there and right there, those are the floors of the unload augers in the grain tank that send it to the big unload auger. They actually put a nice clean out door in there instead of a little slit on each end, and those are open right now if you can get a good look at them. So yeah, that'll, I think, be handy for getting stuff cleaned out. And as you know, we clean stuff out a lot with waxy corn, a couple of varieties of seed beans and popcorn. We gotta be clean a lot for purity reasons. Close this back up. Here's the other side track, no ladder in your way to look at. We've got some LED lighting, which we didn't have before. The 4 round ones on the outer side, those are LED. I think they're HID, still the oval ones in the center. Not sure what all is LED versus not. I might switch the rest out to LED. There's some you can do that. I was going to do that this year, but I didn't get around to it. So That's fine. Maybe I'll do it on this machine. Now the ladder is different on these. It sticks out quite a bit farther. I don't remember if that's just a track thing. Maybe that's a Trax thing. Not sure. And that little strut that helps you lift it. See the black strut there. The one on this side is broken off. So that's what the previous owner was talking about. That is no big deal. They'll take care of that for us. And a lot of the other differences are up in the cab. And a lot of you know this, some of you don't. Key in my truck, I got a half dozen keys in my truck. It works in here. It works in pretty much everything on the lot here. All tractor and combine keys are the same. Combine keys were different for a while, and that was kind of annoying, making sure you had the right key with you. So let's take a look inside. So this area, the armrest, that's where, you know, a lot of the work I'm doing happens here with the right arm on the armrest. This is all different from what I've been used to for years and years. I mean, it looks different. A lot of the functions going to be the same. It takes some getting used to, but as I put my hand on here, you know, my raise and lower, you know, it's all the same kind of feel. Reel adjustment, lateral tilt and header up and raise, that kind of stuff. Your maybe unload button feels a little different, but I get used to it. Oh, I see now that looks like you had an Engage auto steer there. That's nice. And one thing, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So you got this scrolly wheel here. I have been looking forward to that because always adjusting your speed. Now this is a little quality of life thing too, not a huge deal. So forward, backwards, and neutral. So you had to, you know, adjust. Sometimes you can be a little jumpy on speed. So I think now I can scrolly wheel my speed like I do in our tractor and really fine tune it. Which will especially be nice when the grain cart is around. A couple USB ports and a charging port I didn't have before. Looks like I got a couple more ports over here I didn't have, so that'll be nice. The Bluetooth CAN bus I used to talk to my iPad used to be in here. I noticed it is now right here out in the open, down on the floor by the rest of the power strip. Another difference, got the big Gen 4 screen now. I haven't had one of those before. Always been using our 2630s and small armrest screens. And then you've got, I think as the dealer explained it, this is kind of a dummy screen. You can throw whatever you want off of here up to there. It's two things you can look at here, so that'll be nice. So normally what I would have is the small 7-inch armrest screen down here, and then a 2630 monitor up here. And so now all the activations, auto track and row sense for the corner head, all that is in here. So I don't need the 2630 anymore. So I poked around in here yesterday. I'm going to have to learn to navigate this a little bit, but I'm sure I'll get that after a while. Poke around a little bit, maybe read the instructions. That'd be silly. But yeah, having these two big screens is going to be nice. And if it behaves like yesterday, it'll fire right up. There you go. It runs. That's a good sign. But wait, there's more. So before I tell you about the more, I'll give you kind of the logistics of why we decided to trade. And there's a little more on the trade than we expected. And if you want to know the price, I hinted at that in the last video and said we probably weren't going to do that. Well, we did it. So anyway, obviously trading in our S680 2017 for this 2020 S780. And remember we talked about maybe putting our two tillage tools into one tool we can kind of use. Well, we decided for now we can do something else later. Our 2623 is going in on this combine trade. So we haven't been really using it a whole lot, getting a whole lot of use out of it. So we're going to keep our soil finisher for now. Like I said in the other video, we got actually a little bit more tillage than normal to do ahead of the planter this spring. So we'd like to have that. But bringing in that vertical till on this is going to help bring the payments down a little bit. And I said this is used. Why do we like used? Well, at least for the last several years, John Deere has had better financing on used equipment than new equipment. So we kind of like to get combines. That's pretty much what we've been doing, is buying 1-year-old combines. Actually the last two were 2 years old, but they sat on the dealer lot for one season, so they only had one season of use even though they were 2 years old. So yeah, 0% interest on this thing. That's hard to beat. And your first maybe your first two, I have to remember all the details, your first couple of payments are all principal. Eventually you do switch to interest. Our current combine, if we kept it another year, the payment wouldn't change, but we would be starting paying interest and less principal. So the nice thing is when you do that, when you're paying a lot more principal, is you're obviously getting more equity in the machine, which is nice when you go to trade later. The tractors, we talked about the tractors, probably not doing anything with them right now. Probably definitely not doing anything with the 8360R. It's going to stick around. And we talked about having 2 row crop tractors instead of a row crop and a 4-wheel drive articulated. Give us a pretty good price on that 9320 4-wheel drive. Actually more than when we looked at trading it a couple years ago, because it's still really low hours. Maybe we can get some more money out of it now that it's a little more desirable than it was apparently a couple years ago, according to the salesman anyway. So we may do something with that, but like I said, the problem with that tractor is it doesn't owe us anything. It's all paid for. So do we really want to, even though we're not using it, turn it into something that has a payment? And there's a tractor here on the lot that potentially could fit that bill. We can look at it when I'm on my way out of here. And we're not sure we want to be down to one big tractor that we have to rely on for everything. Like I said, we got more tillage plans this spring. Kind of need 2 tractors for that, one planting and one doing the tillage. So we'll see what we think there. Another option would be just to sell it outright and turn it into something else, something boring like a principal payment on a mortgage, or turn it into field tile, something like that. Maybe not something exciting and cool you can see in a video, but got to do what's best financially for us. So I said, and wait, there's more, but what is the more? Well, you can't see the more because the more doesn't exist yet. And I definitely didn't plan on doing this, but you know how we got a brand new corn head last year and ran it just this fall? Well, fall 2021, we're going to have a brand new corn head. Another 12-row Deere folding head, but instead of the 712 FC, you may have seen this if you watched any X9 videos, we're getting I'm gonna get this right, CF12. So like the C series corn heads, they're a little bit different. They roll out with the X9 series, but they'll also fit these S series. Differences on that: the hinges on the wings on the fold, I'm making this motion, I guess, they tilt forward a little bit. I saw that when I was out in Iowa at the Farm Progress show this summer. So when those wings fold, they pitch forward a little bit and nest down in the center. So it's not so tall when it's folded. So I think they say you can see like 15 feet closer to you. Not that big of a deal, but nice. The stalk stompers are really nice. Actually, I might have some video from Iowa. I can maybe show you that head. The stalk stompers are tucked way in. They come from Deere now. They're not another short line equipment manufacturer. So they fit really nice. They go on trailers better. They look really good. I like those. And it's going to have roll cones on the ends. So I used to pop up the ear savers, and if I had any down corn, stuff would hang up on those and you'd want them down. And when you folded it, they had to be back in if you wanted to fold. So you actually did have to get out of the cab to fold the thing. So now we're going to have these like, they kind of look like augers, roll cones on the end. So anything that's hanging on the outside rows will fall in the combine. So that's going to be cool. This is the option we could consider trading the 9320 on. It's a 2014, so 1 year newer than our 8360R. 2014 8320R. It's got a little bit more updated interior. It'll have DEF. Our other tractor has everything but DEF. And got the Gen 4 screen, kind of like the combine does. So there's some things to think about there. The deal with the screens is, so we've got two 2630s. They have activations with auto track, section control, and then one of them has row sense for the corn head on the combine. The one with the row sense, maybe we don't need it anymore because the combine handles all that on its own. This tractor would be kind of the same way. It's all in that big Gen 4 armrest screen. So I can probably, I'm going to think about this a little bit, probably let one of those 2630s go. Possibly even trade it in on the combine, help that price a little more, or maybe sell it outright myself, get probably more than I could trade for. So we'll see what we can do there. But for now, excited to get that new combine home. It's December, the week before Christmas right now, week of Christmas. We're probably not going to see that corn head till summer. Like I said, it doesn't exist hasn't been built yet. Probably didn't order it late Friday night, so maybe I'll order it Monday or Tuesday here. And so we will see. More to come. So we got that cool S780 track combine come to the farm. You'll see it when it comes home, and maybe by then we'll decide what to do or not do with the 9320. Somebody's getting a sweet new 24-row electric drive pneumatic row cleaner planter. It's not us though.